This is the Civivi Dogma in bright blue, jigged G10 with a faux bolster. This was a gift from Joe, the Knife Whisperer. You got to check out the Knife Whisperer channel. He's awesome. He's got great reviews, great taste in knives, and a real entertaining take on the whole hobby and the making of videos and reviewing. So definitely check him out. Thanks, Joe, for this awesome gift. I really love this knife. I love the blade shape. Okay, so this knife to me does everything that the Shredder did, but just a little bit better and a little bit smaller. Let me explain myself. You know I like larger knives rather than smaller knives, but there are certain types I would rather have small. For instance, a Civivi. I know I would rather have it small like this because I'm more likely to carry a small Civivi than a large one, because large knives are reserved for my front right pocket, and that's where I put all my favorite, most premium, most excited, the knives I'm most excited about. And but this is not only, nice to look at, especially that blade. It's insanely beautiful, but it's a real little workhorse. And I say little workhorse because it's thinly ground, and it's a thin stock, and it's an incredibly thinly ground hollow grind here. So it's a workhorse in its own wheelhouse, but you're not going to do this for crazy. You're not going to use this for crazy hard work. I had the Shredder, which has a very similar blade, and that was the reason why I got that knife in the first place. And then when this came along, I ended up getting rid of the Shredder, not knowing that this was going to come my way. And then Joe gifted this to me, and I was very happy. It came right in time, and it fills the gap in my collection for Bowies that look like this. All right. So the action on this as a Civivi is just sickly insane. It's on bearings and very, very, very smooth. There's your lock. You can see the liners there. They've hollowed them out. Let's see if I can give you a better shot. You know what? I need to start carrying a little flashlight around here so I can shine in there. But take my word for it. They've hollowed out holes in the liners, reducing the weight. This one comes in a really cool brushed brass version, or copper, I can't remember which one it is, where they do all of the, let's see, they have the handle raw, or no, yeah, they have the handle without any of the milling. They cover it with some sort of coating, and then they cut out the milling, and then you see the metal shine through. It's a really cool look. I recommend it if you like this knife, or this style of knife. This is a 3.4 inch, about 3.4 inch blade, putting it in a great category for just everyday kind of work, because if you look at it from the finger choil on, it's really a 3-inch cutting edge, and then some space to come up and choke up for whatever that fine work is that people always talk about. For that close-in work, I got some fine close-in work to do. My fine close-in work is usually cutting things out of paper or thin things like paper. And so I don't necessarily need the choil for that. I would actually probably hold it more like this due to that curve. But, well, that's my version of fine work. Yeah, it drops shut. It's super light, super light. Everything about this knife is light and quick. I'm going to show it with a couple of knives here. Let's see. First, for size comparison, the Rat 2. Look at that. What a nice combination. What a nice couple they make. The Rat 2, so that's a 3-inch blade, so it is smaller. And here it is with another colorful knife, the Purple G Mascus RSK1, Mini RSK1. And then for size, also here it is with a Paramilitary 2. So it's pretty close to the Paramilitary 2 here. You can see blade lengthwise, it's just shy of the PM2. Let's see when you take away the choils. Let's see cutting edge wise. About the same. About about the same. No. Sorry. The PM2 has about 1/4 of an inch on it. But this has a nice handle to blade ratio, which I can't really say for this knife. You know, I like to bag on the paramilitary too, but it is a cool knife and such great ergonomics on this. I mean, everything about this knife is great. I had to say that because I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. Okay, here we go with the Civivi Asticus. I love the name of this knife, the Asticus. This was a gift from my brother-in-law for Christmas this year. Thank you, James. This is a great knife. I see why everyone went off about this knife at the beginning of 2020. Everyone had a video on this. Even people who are especially into custom knives, like Alex and Dirk, they both love this knife also with the, of course, they had to get the version with the Damascus and a little bit fancier than this. But really, when it comes down to it, it's just a great shape. It's large, but thin and light, and the blade is that same sort of Civivi hollow grind. It's so thin and nice. This is a great knife, the Asticus. This makes a great stash in the waistband knife because it's so thin, but very strong. And you don't have, sometimes I don't like to put frame locks in the waistband. And here it's, you know, it's not a frame lock. So there it is with that. And now here's something that's gone but not forgotten. I'm not sure what happened to these guys, but like Civivi is the downstream brand or the budget brand for WE knife, we had Tangram knives, which is the budget brand for Kaiser knives. And here's the one I have from them. It's the Tangram Santa Fe with that beautiful phosphor bronze action and just a beautiful Wharncliffe blade. So there you go there. I hope they bring back the Tangram line at some point. So I don't have any WE knives. I have some WE made knives. This is a WE knife made by WE knife, but not branded as a WE knife. This is from Nick Rogers of Niche Designs. This is the second prototype of three different types of prototypes for his ingress design. So in just handling these two knives, it's apparent that they come from the same place. The quality is you know, basically identical. You just have different materials here making it feel a little bit different. I mean, could these two knives be any different? It's funny. But they have some similarities too. They're both sharp on this part, and they have holes. Here it is with a Bestech, which is kind of in a similar vein, a high-end Chinese build, relatively high-end. Bestech has a couple of tiers of production, and this I think is on their high-end. This is the Malware, designed by Todd Knife and Tool. And I just wanted to show it with probably my favorite high-end Chinese flipper, my Riot K2. So similar universe in that a similar sort of attention to detail in terms of the action and the build and the milling and all that stuff has gone into this knife at a fraction of a cost of those others that I showed you. And then lastly, I just want to compare the handle just for a second with a traditionally jigged knife. This is a GEC 15. Oh wait, that doesn't make sense. Let's hold it like that. And you can see it's like peach seed jigging. That's what they call this sort of thin, real thin, looks like the surface of a peach pit or a seed. All right, well, thanks again, Joe, the Knife Whisperer, for this awesome Civivi Dogma. It will have an esteemed spot in my collection forevermore. And I'm glad that it's such a cool knife because I can't get rid of it. It's a gift and it's a memory here. And well, I'm just grateful that it's such a sweet memory and such an awesome gift. So thanks again, Joe. And yeah, if you have any interest, if you like the design, rest assured it's a fantastic knife, the Civivi Dogma.